This is my habitat house. My parents helped build it. Now we don't get wet when it rains. I don't get too hot or too cold inside. And I don't have to worry when the winds blow. This is my house.
This is my house. This is my house. This is my house. My house.
My house.
I can play with my sister. I can play with my brother. I can play with my mother, my father, my family.
My family. My family.
This is my house.
This is my house.
I can study. I can be safe with my family. This is my house.
This is my house.
This is my house.
This is my house.
My house.
My house.
This is my house.
Find out how you can help more families like mine have a safe, decent place to call home.
First, I want to thank you all for volunteering to help Habitat for Humanity build a house. Your participation means so much. We couldn't do this without you. So, any questions? Come on, don't be shy. No such thing as a silly question, guys.
Donate and purchase from the Habitat ReStore. That helps build houses.
No, you don't need to be able to hold a hammer. Anyone else?
I've got a lot of good ReStore memories, but I think my favorite one was I was sitting around talking to Chris one day while we brought a old desk, a set of chairs out there, chairs and desks together. Anyway, he was talking about how he remembered in grade school how the janitor cleaned him, and I thought, that's the same way they cleaned him in my school. And we started talking, and we found out we went to the same grade school.
I had recently had a life-changing experience, and I actually was very, very afraid of life. But I joined a program, and they had training sites. And I got an email from a very special person that I was invited to have an interview at Habitat for Humanity ReStore. The gentleman said, have a seat, in such a very calm manner that I started to relax. Peter Russell, the assistant manager, made me feel that I could do it.
Colleen O'Toole came out and talked with us at the front desk about her kittens and her pregnant cats that she was fostering, and she shared pictures and stories with us.
We had a young man named David that volunteered here twice a week, and he'd walk in with a big smile on his face. And at that time, Jim and Susan and I, in unison, would all say, David, and you'd watch him just light up. He was a wonderful young man, great volunteer.
Working with a bunch of people that love working together, I think, is my most favorite memory of everything that we do here.
What is one of my favorite ReStore memories?
One of my favorite is when a gentleman came in and bought a whole bunch of lights, came up to the register where I was working, and he says, "Look what I found, all my antique lights for my antique fixtures." That's one of my favorite things.
What's something others should know about volunteering at ReStore? It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of hard work, but it is also a lot of fun. You get to meet all kinds of people, and that's something that I really love, is the diversity and just the variety of wonderful people that you get to meet.
It's fun. It really is. You get so much out of it, and you're helping people at the same time. It's a fantastic experience.
I feel really good about myself, helping out the community and sharing news about the builds.
Well, I've been doing the orientation once a week for many different volunteers, and what they should know is this is a welcoming organization filled with positive feedback, positive energy, and it's just like one giant family once you get involved in the ReStore.
I mean, there's good people here, and it's fun. I like what ReStore is doing. I like wandering around the store, and I like working with the people. And it's very pleasant, and all's good. I really enjoy it.
It is an adult playground. It has got everything the adults are looking for, and they wait outside like children for the door to open. So it's just great here. We all love it, and our customers do too.
Such a diverse group of people, yet they all manage to work together so greatly. That's one thing that I really I thought was unique. People from all walks of life coming in, volunteering, people working here that are actually working here, all the different volunteers coming in and out. It just, you come in, you feel welcomed. I mean, you have help every time. I was dealing with medical issues, and I am so grateful how, caring they were, worried about me. And I'd only been volunteering for like a month or so, and I will continue to volunteer because of the people and the environment. So thanks, ReStore.
Home improvement projects stacking up? Check out the ReStore. You'll be surprised at what you find, and even more surprised at the ReStore's super low prices. Shop our new and used building materials, furniture, appliances, and home goods. Rework, reimagine, and reuse. Everything from cabinets and paint to sofas and stoves. All sales support Habitat for Humanity home building projects while keeping tons of reusables out of landfills. The ReStore Home Improvement Outlet. Discover something new and used every day. Find the one nearest you at pdxrestore.org.
I welcome you to the Habitat for Humanity Home Dedication and Celebration here at Cully Place. When the cost of home is more than half your income, the cost is too high. And when the cost of home is any family's future, that's something that none of us can afford. And that's really why we're here today, to celebrate the completion of these homes, to celebrate with 5,000, and not all here, but 5,000 people contributed to making this possible as volunteers, as contributors to the specific donations that came in for these homes. And what's been made possible is that soon 50 moms and dads and kids and grandparents will have a safe and warm place to call home.
I just want to say thank you guys for making this happen for our family. I greatly appreciate it. I don't know what we'd do without you guys and your support. So thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it.
I commute every day from Washington for the last 6 years. All my family lives in Oregon. So this is a great opportunity to me. Thanks, Habitat, for putting up with me. Thanks, Portland Housing Bureau, for putting up with me. And I just like everything that we do soon. And I thank you guys. You made my dream come true, and I'm back in the community and the city that I love. Thank you.
It's so heartwarming. So you know, we're at the front end of the long spigot trying to get the money, but it's the most critical piece is being able to spend that money on the ground in a way that pulls together different partners and makes a difference for these families. So it's really exciting for me to be here and, you know, be at the front end and then see what happens and meet the families.
There's lots of great things about Portland. I've lived here my whole life. I grew up in the neighborhood in Cully. My parents still live in the neighborhood. I'm Heather Lewis. I'm a wife and a mother of 4, and I'm a Habitat homebuyer. I met my husband at Albertsons while working there 20 years ago.
My name is James Lewis. I love to spend a lot of family time, a lot of time with my kids. My daughter Selena says she would like to be a doctor when she grows up. My son James is trying to figure out what he wants to do. Bobby wants to be in the military. Dylan wants to be a millionaire. I grew up in a drug and alcohol house and never wanted to be a part of it. So I push myself on a daily basis to work hard to keep my kids away from that type of situation. And I hope the best for my kids.
We've lived here in these apartments for 9 years. This house is 2 bedrooms, with having 6 people in the house is very crowded.
It's falling apart, mold issues, it's very cold. The electricity bill is so high because we have to have our heaters cranked up so high just to keep the place warm. I feel like you're gonna fall through the floor in the kitchen. We've never really looked into buying a home on our own because financially we thought it would be too expensive.
I first heard of Habitat for Humanity through my mom. She thought it would be a great program for us. It's emotional. It's a really exciting moment to find out that you get accepted into the Habitat homeownership program. Just overwhelming feelings.
I was surprised. I was speechless. I still am.
It's important for us to have our kids raised here where we grew up.
It's going to be great living in the Coley neighborhood because I know a lot of people in that neighborhood. I worked in that community for about 9 years.
It means a lot to be able to be really close to my parents, and it's a great neighborhood.
By applying for Habitat for Humanity, we put in our sweat equity hours so we can have an affordable mortgage.
The classes through Habitat for Humanity have helped us a lot with finances, and the things that we're learning on the construction site would probably help us be able to do our maintenance on our house on the inside, and it's great.
If Habitat for Humanity did not exist, we'd probably still be living here in the apartments and still struggling to save money to get into a house.
It's a great program for people with low income to be able to afford a house, to be able to do better for themselves.
I came from a very poor family that never had their own home. So it's going to be great to be able to be the first person in my family to own their own home. It feels very overwhelming knowing that I've come this far.
As you know, COVID-19 is still active across Oregon. So far, we've been doing a great job of protecting ourselves. Now that we are starting to reopen, more people will be in contact with each other in public and at work. Here is how to minimize the risk of the virus continuing to spread as we open up again. Many people with COVID have no symptoms at all, so continue protecting yourself and others by staying home, except for essential trips. When in public or at work, wear a face covering and stay 6 feet from others. Wash your hands often, don't touch your face, cover your coughs and sneezes, and disinfect frequently touched surfaces. If you must be near people at work, the grocery store, or running errands, always wear your face covering. This will reduce the chance of catching COVID or giving it to someone else. This is especially important when indoors. While at work, your employer is required by law to provide you with personal protective equipment. If you feel sick and have trouble breathing, or have persistent chest pains, call 911 immediately. If you have other COVID symptoms like cough, fever, or headache, contact your doctor. If you don't have a doctor, call 211. They can help you find free healthcare services even if you don't have insurance or documentation. Also, you can check c19oregon.com to learn more about symptoms and to find a doctor near you. Your doctor will provide you with options to get tested for COVID. If you test positive, you will get a call from your local health department to help you access their free services. They will also collect information about who you have had close contact with recently so they can be tested too. COVID spreads incredibly easily, and those around you might not know that they are infected. Any information you give will be completely confidential, and your name is not shared with immigration or the federal government. Your cooperation will save lives. If you are sick, it's really important to stay home, except to get medical care. If you have to travel, try to avoid using public transit to reduce the chance of spreading COVID. If you must use public transit, always wear a face covering and distance yourself from others. If you need to ride in a car with people outside of your household, be sure everyone wears a face covering. If you are on the Oregon Health Plan, you can use ridetocare.com to get to the doctor. There is no cure for COVID yet, so get lots of rest, drink plenty of water, and monitor your symptoms. At home, separate yourself from others as much as possible. Wear a face covering to protect them, and wash your hands often. If you can, try to stay alone in a single bedroom and only use one bathroom. If you only have one bathroom, be sure to disinfect the surfaces you've touched. Don't share cups, utensils, towels, or bedding. Be sure to let your employer know you are sick and that you need to stay home. Your employer is required by law to pay you for sick time. If your employer refuses to pay you when you are sick, call 971-673-0761. If you are taking care of a member of your household who is sick, wear a face covering and use gloves when providing care. Wash your hands frequently, clean and disinfect frequently touched surfaces, and disinfect any items touched by the sick person. Finally, be sure to wash their laundry separately from yours. These are difficult and stressful times for everyone. For information on resources such as food, a doctor, mental health services, or childcare, visit our website, multco.us/COVID-19, or by calling 211. Together, we will overcome this.